With over 20 years of experience training police dogs to the highest level possible, I have found that dog owners like you need only 5 tools in order to raise and train your dog or puppy to be the best that they can be. In this video, we're going to walk and talk you through what each of those tools are, why you need them, and how to maximize their use. Let's get into it. Hidden somewhere in this frame is actually a little dog. Let me know if you can find it, and it ain't this dog. Keep looking. Have you found her yet? It's her right here, little Miss Mina. She's hiding out, she's hanging out, she's being a good girl, but what you'll also find is hidden in this frame is actually a coupon code. Now that coupon code, the first 25 people to find it and use it are gonna be able to save 25% off any of our online courses available at DIYK9.com. But now, later on in the video, if you hear this sound, there's also gonna be a coupon code. Now those other coupon codes are gonna be able to be used at our shop where you can buy any of the gear you need to train your dog or puppy to be the best that they can be. But it's not just for anyone. Only the first 25 people that find it and use those codes will be able to access that discount. So we thought it'd be a fun little Easter egg hunt as we dive into the video. Speaking of, let's get into it. One of the most important tools in your arsenal when it comes to raising and training your dog or puppy to be the best that they can be is, guess what? A freaking crate. In other words, you can't do it without this crate because it's impossible to have 24/7 supervision over your brand new puppy or the dog that you adopted from the shelter who has God knows what kind of issues that came with it, probably because the previous owners didn't crate train the dog. In other words, your dog won't learn how to piss and all over your house, chew your furniture and your shoes, and be a bat out of hell if they're either A, under your direct supervision, or B, when you gotta go to the restroom because nature calls and you end up doing a 15-20 minute deep dive watching a dog training video on YouTube, which you might be doing right now. When you come back out, your dog's not out there doing mischievous things. You know that they're just resting easy inside of the crate, which is exactly what you need, baby. Without this tool, your dog will learn all kinds of horrible behaviors. Now, having said that, crate, if you do it right, your dog's gonna love going in the crate. You know why? Because we make the crate a wonderful place to be. You go in there, amazing things happen. You get fed, you get treats, you get belly rubs, you get to rest. No one's gonna bother you. It's like a cave-like experience, which is what they would do in the wild anyways. They're gonna go find something like a cave and hang out in there and rest and relax. Now, having said that, for folks who are like, I'm never gonna put my dog in a crate, well, you're just an idiot.
What are you?
I'm Zach George. I'm a dog trainer.
And also, it's inevitable. There will come a point in your dog's life where it will have to go in a crate. When is that? When you have to go on vacation somewhere, you have to board your dog, there's an emergency, you're gonna send your dog off to some family friend's house and they're gonna crate your dog, or more than likely your dog might end up at a vet at some point. And even if your dog's there for even like 15 minutes, there's a chance they're gonna put the dog in a crate, especially if it's an overnight stay. That is not when you wanna introduce your dog to the crate for the first time, when they're getting poked, prodded, and they're not feeling well. It's gonna be a show. Instead, we charge up the crate to mean a peaceful, relaxation type of space so that even if they're at the vet, they're like, thank God there's a crate here that I can relax in. All right, let's move on to the next one. Now, once you let the dog out of the crate, which is gonna keep them out of trouble, we don't want them just running free like a buck wild animal. Why? They're gonna shoot out your front door, run out into traffic, God forbid, get hit by a car. Little puppies like this are gonna find rocks on the ground, mulch, they're gonna eat it. Left to their own devices, they're gonna jump on people, jump on your counter. They're gonna do a bunch of dumb things. So to control that, you already know what the next tool is, baby. You gotta have a leash so that you can make sure they don't develop any bad habits, or God forbid they do have bad habits. Guess what you're gonna use to fix it? The first tool that comes to mind is a freaking leash. That leash is gonna stop bad behaviors in its tracks, or again, better said, not let it happen to begin with. But the problem is the leash by itself does nothing. It has to hook to something. So it's always a leash combo with what collar? In this case, a martingale collar. Now the martingale collar has this beautiful action on it, and that action keeps the collar from slipping over to the dog's head. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people's dogs slip right out of a flat collar and off to the races. They're running, and it always happens at the worst time. When the dog's trying to chase some wildlife, a car backfires and that dog's freaking out and is gonna back out of the leash and get themselves hurt. The martingale collar is an amazing tool that we highly recommend. They wear this 24/7, 365. It's fit nice and loose, it's beautiful, but can cinch up tight when you need it. But the problem with the flat collar is, especially when dogs have a lot of drive, they're big, they're strong, they're heavy, they can drag you all over the place and requires a ton of muscle to control them. You can control them in a low drive state. You see how much pressure I have to put there to get them to sit. I don't wanna have to use all that pressure all the time, so instead we can step up to a leash and prong collar combo. This is gonna give you everything I just told you, but better said, power steering, power brakes, really stop bad behaviors before they start, and also allow you to control the dog with fingertip pressure. So we're gonna present to you what we call a D10 level distraction, which is our dog's off screen with a tennis ball. Almost got hit in the head with that one. And you'll see he's very excited. He wants to play, but I have him on the prong and he's allowed to play, except now I'm gonna use, watch, fingertip pressure to say, hey, come over here, bro. I don't want you to play right now. I need you to maintain this perfect little sit with fingertip pressure. That's gonna come in handy freaking dandy when he's 140 plus pounds. Could I control him with a martingale collar? Yeah, but that's like, could I drive a car without power steering, power brakes? Yeah, but isn't it so much better with power steering, power brakes? Of course it is. So most of you probably need to step up to a prong collar so that you can use a lot less effort, get that power steering and power brakes that you need to control your dog and keep them from making really, really stupid decisions. All right, let's roll in to the next section. Folks, just a friendly reminder, every single tool that we use to train dogs to a very high level is now available inside of our brand new shop located at shop.americanstandardcanine.com, where we house only the best products to help you raise and train your dog to be the best that they can be. We hope to see you there. Now, back to the video. Snap, crackle, pop. When you bust open that bag of dog treats in the kitchen and they hear that snap, crackle, pop, you know your dog comes running in at about 100 miles an hour, slides in the most beautiful sit stay you've ever seen, and stares at you with 100% of its focus. Imagine if you take all of that drive, enthusiasm, speed, and obedience from the kitchen and take it with you here, there, and everywhere. Well, how could I do that? You become a mobile vending machine. How are you gonna do that? Grab yourself one of these badass treat pouches so that you can reward your dog out in public and get that same level of attention and obedience anywhere you go. Now, there's other reasons that you might want a food pouch, including that, well, hey, Garrett says I gotta take food with me. I'm just gonna carry it all day. Well, that's just stupid. Why? Because number one, if you start dropping food out of your hands, you're gonna get a dog that checks out on you. We literally say rule number one in dog training is don't drop food on the ground. Rule number two, see rule number one. That's how important it is, because once you start dropping food on the ground, your dog's gonna check out from you and you're no longer gonna have their attention. God forbid you drop that food in the grass and you can't find it, that's gonna come back to haunt you days and even weeks later, because your dog's nose is super powerful. We know that. So instead of dropping food everywhere, you have a beautiful place to put it. Now you might say, Garrett, what the hell are you doing with 3 different treat pouches? That's because, baby, we're taking it to another level. In this pouch, we have $1 bills. What are you talking about? This is just her kibble. So if she does a good job like maintaining this sit stay, I can feed her $1 bill at a time. But what if she does something really spectacular, such as a verbal down? If she nails that, I'll double click and come in with a $5, $10, or $20 bill right out of the high value pouch. That could be liver treats, hot dogs, whatever your dog is into. Now, what could you do in the third pouch? Baby, you can bring whatever you need. Water bottle, snacks for your dog, your wallet, a phone, your keys, poop bags, all the essentials that you might need. In my case though, she's so darn cute, I'm afraid someone's gonna try to steal her, so I keep my Second Amendment right here. All right, let's move on to the next section. Now, what do you do if you don't want to lock up your dog in a crate for hours on end, but you also don't have the ability to hold onto the leash 24/7? How do we keep our dogs out of trouble and doing the right thing? The answer, my friends, is the place board. Let me show you how it works. Xena, place. Good, stay. Brutus, place. Thanos, here. Come on, lazy bone. Yes. Good job, buddy. What this tool is going to allow you to do is keep your dogs out of trouble. Whether that's fighting over a bone or a toy or a bowl of food, or you get a knock at the door and you want to answer it without your dog running out the front door, jumping on your guests, scaring the mailman, you now give them a more important job to do, which is to go to place and stay on place. Again, this is gonna give you so much freedom where you know your dog is doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're not trapped in a crate, but they're also not in your room chewing up your shoes, tearing up your carpets, chewing on your furniture, jumping on your counter, eating your sandwich or the leftover pizza. Now you know they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is amazing. He dropped his, he's doing such a great job. He's like, I ain't even coming off for that piece. This is exactly what we want. This is a very important job. Now we reward that important job with food, treats, toys, pets, you name it. Amazing things happen on the place board, but I'm also no fool. Sometimes we can't always give them a treat or a bone. Sometimes they just have to go to place because we told them so. It's just like telling your kids, you gotta clean your room because. And failure to do that will require some level of pressure or punishment so that they know going on place and staying on place is not optional, but absolutely required. Once you nail that, you've got all your bases covered, baby. I cannot stress to you how important the place board is in getting a dog to be the best that they can be. Highly recommend it, not just for training your dog, but literally for the life of your dog. All right, great. Now let's move on to the final section. All right, now we probably saved the best tool for last, and no, we're not talking about the stick. We're talking about a modern tool, something we refer to as the digital leash, AKA the e-collar. Now what the e-collar does is it provides that ultimate level of off-leash freedom and reliability. Yes, This is gonna allow your dogs to run around, live their best life, do whatever it is they wanna do, but maintain that control you need so that they don't run out into traffic and get hit by a car. They don't chase wildlife and never return. They don't ignore your recall, dig holes and do all kinds of mischief and mayhem. This is, like we said, a digital leash that can reach out far beyond just 6 feet. They can reach out up to a quarter mile so your dogs can live their absolute best life. Now, having said all of that, every tool we've shown you up to this point is not just a magic bullet. If you just present your dog with a crate and try to force them in it, they're gonna hate the crate. A lot of dogs are afraid of the placeboard the first time they see it. A lot of dogs hate the leash the first time they feel it, and I can guarantee you, if you don't know how to use the e-collar, not only is your dog not gonna be reliable off leash, you're gonna screw them up and they're gonna hate you for life. So having said that, it's not just the tool, it's how you use it.
That's what she said.
So you got to learn how to use it. One of the best places you can learn how to use the e-collar, DIYcanine.com. There's also a free course there called Dog Training Decoded. It's 100% free, baby, and it's there to walk and talk you through all of the different training options that are available to you so that you can learn the best training system for you and your dog. Now, having said all of that, I want to thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and comment below, baby, if there's a tool, that we mentioned that you absolutely love, or there's a tool that maybe we forgot to mention that you think is even better. Now, no matter which way you go, when you get in the comment section, try your best not to be a tool yourself and act like a clown, but I know it's going to happen anyways. We'll see you in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.